Hey guys, it's Becky G coming at you with another tutorial. I don't know why I said that, but I'm doing a tutorial on the analysis portion of the reading response assignment that you got this week. If you haven't already looked at this assignment, then pause the video. It would probably be good for you to go look at what the requirements are before you go look at this model. But you can use it at any time. It's going to be on the class YouTube. It's just here for, help you out if you're getting stuck. So I've done a little model of an analysis for page 10 and 11 of Animal Farm, and I'm doing an analysis of Old Major's speech that he's giving in the barn. So these are the things that I need, these 5 things for a successful baby analysis. This isn't an analysis paragraph, it's just like a tiny one. So I'm going to need some context from the novel. I'm going to need my central idea, or like we could call this a thesis, kind of like a sort of abbreviated thesis. Some quoted evidence, an explanation that's going to connect back to the central idea that I had at the beginning. And then I'm going to ask you guys to include some adjectives just to focus on both your own writing craft, but adjectives that are going to better prove your point. So I'm going to point all these things out while I'm going through my model. Let me start with the very first sentence, the best place to start. While Old Major is giving his rousing speech in the barn, he repeats a dangerous word that promotes inequality. So I've already got 3 of these things in this sentence. This is my context, which context goes really well with while or after these subordinating conjunctions at the beginning to just give a little bit of background. So I'm going to highlight my context in yellow. And this bit is all the context that I really give you. What is happening around the time of the quote that I'm about to set you up? We want to know the where and the when, who's talking, just like the most brief summary to get us oriented to what you're about to talk about. So while Old Major is giving his rousing speech in the barn. I know I'm in the barn. I know Old Major is speaking, because he's about to give a speech. And then I do have a pretty solid adjective in here, so I'm going to highlight my adjectives in pink. And I've got a rousing speech, meaning like one that gets their attention. It's getting them excited. He repeats a dangerous word that promotes inequality. This is my central idea, that this word that he keeps using, and I haven't told you about it yet, is going to do the opposite of what he's trying to do in the speech, which is to promote equality between animals and humans. But actually, this word is going to promote inequality. And I want to point out in my central idea that I need to bring up a literary device. And I don't say he uses repetition, but he does repeat. So note here, I'm going to put it in bold, that he's using repetition to get his point, his dangerous point across. So on page 10, this is a little bit more, page context. He says, all men are enemies. All animals are comrades. And the dangerous word here is all, because he's lumping complex groups of people into these oversimplified terms. And he's making everybody the same, not necessarily equal. Later in his speech, a little bit more context, I'm kind of guiding you, I'm taking you by the hand through the text here with this context. Later in his speech, he claims all the habits of men are evil. So I'm obviously highlighting my quoted evidence in blue. Oh, and my central idea is in green. Sorry. But it is a nasty habit of his to say all continually. So I'm going back to this repetition bit here, so let me put that in bold too. Continually, and create sweeping generalizations for different species. So I'm starting to explain why this is a problem and connect my quoted evidence back to my original idea that this word is actually doing more damage than it is good. To say all here. Here I can put it in bold as well, since that's my repetition. By repeatedly asserting that all humans are the same and all animals are the same, he makes an enemy out of potentially helpful men and does not consider the possibility that there might be enemy farm animals among them. So he's like making enemies out of his friends, which could be like, humans that want to help them, And he's not considering the fact that some of the animals that might be in this barn right now are actually going to ruin his whole effort to make humans and animals equal. And I'm going to go through this last sentence, which all of this here is my explanation, connecting it back to my central idea. So let me pick one more color to highlight this bit. And you'll see that most of it is my own explanation, a big chunk of, ooh, all of these colors are really dark. Let me see. Red. Let's do like the gray. And this will be gray. Not that it's boring, it's just the only color that shows up. A speech that overgeneralizes is not only ineffective, but potentially detrimental to a cause. So I make like a kind of final thematic claim here at the end. Like, this is what I get out of what Old Major is saying here, and my ideas about like giving a speech. If you're overgeneralizing people and you're making everybody like, if you are saying that all immigrants do all the same things and therefore they're all terrible, awful people, or you're saying that, you know, all white people do one, like, behave in one certain way and that they all need to be treated the same, then you just really take all the complexity out of like humankind in general, and also the complexity that a speech needs. And so that's my final point here at the end. I'm going to go through here and I'm going to highlight all my adjectives just to point out these adjectives that are like helping me make my point better. So helpful men, enemy farm animals, speech that overgeneralizes is not only ineffective but potentially detrimental. So these describing words that are helping me like push my point further. So as you're writing this analysis, just focus on like using more describing words and specific to what you are trying to say. Hopefully this was helpful. Let me know if you have any more questions, or let me know if you need another follow-up video. I try to make this one as short as I can, just so you can like sort of go through the mini lesson and then go back to your reading. You should be on page 58 by the end of week 2 here by April 9th. Again, hope you guys are doing well. Let me know if you need anything. I'm available 10 through 11 in the morning and then 3 or 4 in the afternoon every day, Monday through Friday, except this Friday. Have a great day.